Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's a great day for the Pirate Broadcast, and we are here interviewing interesting people doing interesting things. And I just want to mention that we're also streaming live on not only LinkedIn, but Facebook, YouTube, and also Periscope for Twitter. And so if I would love the fact that, if you could maybe subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, get notifications over at Russ Johns, that would be fantastic. I'd love to join the community, have you join the community, and connect with others in the pirate community. We're just a bunch of very exciting and interesting people. So, and today, speaking of interesting people, where we, talk about interesting people doing interesting things, is we have Karen in the room. Good morning, Karen. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Good morning to you as well, Russ. Thank you for having me here today.
You bet. We were talking before the show, and we were talking about some of the things that we're doing. I know you're a massage therapist. You're into nutrition, mental health, mindset, and some of the things that are all positive things. And I just wanted to highlight a few items that, that brought you to this. As a massage therapist, you know what stress can do to the body, and it's one of these things that, it's like, I enjoy a good massage. And I know that a lot of my stress at times falls on my shoulders, and, being at a computer the majority of the day, I have a tendency to tighten up my shoulders and things like that. So what got you into massage therapy, and how did that journey take place for you?
So I actually used to work with dogs back in the day for 23 years, and and my body was starting to fall apart doing that. I did dog grooming. And for me, then I thought I was turning 40 and I knew I wanted to do something different. And I always found the body fascinating, like especially through my massage therapist. I'd come in with shoulder pain, work on my toe or something, and then the shoulder pain would go away. And I was like, how does that work?
Yeah.
So I went back, I sold my business and went back to school for massage. And that's what sort of got me on the journey of health. And then when I graduated from school 2 years later, I found out I had cancer. So that got me on the journey of nutrition. So, and then it's just kind of keeps expanding from there.
So are you in remission?
Yep. I've been cancer free for I think 11 years now. So thank you.
Oh, congratulations! So I guess that was the kind of the point where you decided to talk or learn more about nutrition with your cancer, and how did nutrition tie into your cancer?
Because I thought this was the perfect time I was a big smoker. I ate junk food like it was going out of style. And I remember every day I was quitting smoking, and every day I lit up a cigarette. And for me, I remember one day sitting in my car and just going, what am I going to do? Like, I lit up a cigarette and I was like, oh my God, what would it take for me to quit? That's when I found out I had cancer. So be careful what you put out there into the universe.
Yeah.
So I thought, time to look after myself, quit smoking, maybe pay attention to nutrition. So I went back to school and became a holistic nutritionist. So that's how I got into nutrition. And then I started when I turned 50. That's when really life changed even more. Because I started learning I was married, and then, unfortunately, marriage ended. But we're still friends, so I'm very grateful for that. But it started making me learn, it started getting me interested in why am I still stuck living in the past? Right? I started learning about how the mind works, right? So because I was stuck, and I had all these patterns in my life of not being able to move forward, right? I had a hard time letting go of my marriage. I had a hard time letting go of a lot of things. And my friends started introducing me to how the mind works. So that's kind of now been my journey for the last little while. We are what we think, and we feel, we think something, we feel something, we think something, we feel something, and it becomes an addiction living in the past. Make a long story short.
It does become an addiction. It's almost like we hold on to the past at times. And a lot of people never really let go of the past, and it holds us back. I mean, we're we're an accumulation of our experience. And when we hold ourselves back in the past, it's difficult to move forward. So what was the trigger that allowed you to make that change, that transition from holding on to letting go?
For me, so I got introduced, one of my close friends introduced me. Have you ever heard of Esther and Abraham Hicks?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was introduced to them, and then I was introduced to Dr. Joe Dispenza. So I took one of his workshops, and for me, all of a sudden, I started learning that it's just a chemical reaction, right? Without getting into too much detail, but basically, it's like you have a thought, it releases a chemical in your body, and then you get an emotion. And then you have your emotion, and it releases another chemical, and then you get a thought, and it spirals from there. Your body wants to, your body and your mind wants to live where it's comfortable, which is in your past. So all we have to do, and it's actually quite simple. All I had to learn was every time I was going into my past, okay, that's my internal chatter, right? Hey, no, this is just a chemical reaction. I'm going to continue moving forward, and I just changed my thought. Is this the thought that I want to have right now? No, it's not. I want to be going forward, right? Because the past is who we are. I think we need to be grateful for our past, good or bad, because it's going to be what will make you move forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. You know, the thing that I find fascinating is that our experience is just an experience. It's not good or bad. It's just an experience, and we have to understand, okay, how and why are we responding in a certain way to this experience? Because that's going to determine how we move forward, how we respond, and how we react to that experience. So, like you're saying, the reaction our body has can actually come out in different ways. Stress, how if we react to things in a certain way, we wear that, or we, kind of our muscles, it goes into our muscles, and it's just like, okay, I'm all stressed up. I'm tense. My muscles are tight. Well, that's kind of a byproduct of stress based on, what we're talking about. So it's one of those things that you have the opportunity to change. So how do you change that? How do you personally change that in your life?
So I journal. I've discovered I'm a huge fan of journaling, and that will help me. So say I'm getting a negative emotion, right? We get the negative emotions for a reason, because it's there to teach you something, right? And teach you a lesson, something, whatever that is, awareness, right? So sometimes if I'm feeling stuck, for instance, a couple of weeks ago, I was feeling anxious for whatever reason. Had to do something, and I was stressing about it, and I had anxiety for like 5 hours, and it was freaking me out because I never get anxiety, right? So I'm going, well, this is weird, and some anger started to show up, and I'm like, what the heck is this? So then I thought, okay, I got to journal this out, because I don't like this energy in my body, and I need to know what it is that started to show up. And then I discovered that as I journaled it out, I figured out what it was, and it had to do with something about my university degree, not being good enough, like I call that old programming. That's not true, right? So I journaled, okay, what do I need to do to move this energy? What do I need to do to move forward? So I figured it out, what this anger and frustration was trying to show me. So that, and doing some deep breathing, which helped me relax, because we need to get out of that, what's called fight and flight, right? Where we're that tensed up. And so that's sort of what I do.
A lot of what you're talking about is some of the experience that I've had over the years, and I've journaled, forever. And it's almost as if you have to think about, you have to step outside yourself and say, okay, what's the lesson I'm learning from this experience? What's the trigger that I'm feeling? What's the change that's taking place here? And why now? Why me? And it's not a victim mentality, but more of a learning exercise. So it's the ability and the opportunity to learn from what you're doing. So it's really hopefully hanging on to these ideas that you can change.
Mhm.
You're always evolving. And when you accept the fact that you're always learning something new, you're always evolving into someone new, and life around you is constantly in a flux of change. And then you can accept the future a little more a little easier in what you're doing. And that's been my experience. It's like, okay, learn from it, move on. Learn from it and move on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And if we're not feeling like, and I know what was happening with me because I'm, expanding my business, I'm rebranding myself. I'm going to be getting into some coaching and some other things that I'm really excited about. So I'm being challenged.
Mhm.
And the old me says, or the younger version of me says, I want to keep you safe, so let's keep you in the past. Whereas I'm going, no, I'm going moving forward. And then you get that anxiety, you get that heart palpitation, you get that, oh my God, I can't do this, not good enough. Maybe who's going to listen to me? All this, it's chatter, right? It's such old programming that how we were raised. And it doesn't mean we have bad parents. It's just the way our mind works.
Sure.
And what I do when I journal, I'll just say, what do I need to do to make this icky feeling go away? Right? And then it's amazing. All of a sudden the answer comes out. It's so simple.
Yeah.
All the answers are so simple, but we as humans like to make it complicated.
we always overcomplicate life.
Mm-hmm.
So what brings you joy? Where's your joy located? What action or activity brings you joy?
I love horseback riding. I've been riding horses since I was a kid. So that is my place to go to just shut off from the world. And I go to a retreat that's not far from me. I go to that just unplug, because sometimes it's nice just to put away the computer, put away the phone, unplug from the world, and just go on a healing journey, I call it. So yeah, I'm a big fan of being able to just shut off.
Yeah.
Enjoy the time, otherwise you're just working like crazy.
Yeah, it says it says horrible health cell coverage here. I think I'll watch the recording later. So it says hello, Captain. And then Tapas Das. We are getting a little bit of drop. It sounds like an internet connection may not be 100% right now this morning, but
No.
I just want to make sure that everybody, great to be here. Julia says, great to have joined here. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
He's
from Kenya.
Here, a health and wellness blogger, founder and owner of Health Advisory Today.
Very
thank
cool.
you so much for joining us, Julius. This is fantastic. I love the welcome to the pirate community. And then Tapas, good morning, Russ Johns. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, folks. And then there's so many people out there that are interested in health and wellness right now. We're going through this challenging time that is really about there's a lot of stress and uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that I want to at least have a conversation around and continue to talk about is the mental health and our awareness of how we can actually find a little calm in the chaos and actually move forward. And for myself, it's about moving forward with learning something new every day, creating something new and exciting every day, being on this program, the Pirate Broadcast, and helping bring some positive news to the world, to counteract some of the negative news that is out there, and making sure that people are aware that you have the ability and the opportunity to make a difference, and you have the ability and opportunity to really make a choice on how you react and respond to the things that are going on around you. And there's a lot of times where when you're calm and you're finding joy and you're sharing that joy with other people, the people around you seem to be a little lighter in their attitude and their approach to life.
Yeah.
So how are some things that we're doing now, these, considering nutrition, uh, massage therapy, some of the things that you have going on in your world, how do they apply to other people, and how can other people benefit from what you're doing in your experience?
Well, I think massage is important for sure. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't. So I think really, I don't watch the news. I don't like the news. It's just me because I figure everybody's going to tell me about the news anyway. So, but I think it's really finding, if you can go in for a massage once a month, right? Just to relax and just shut off, like just maybe turn off shut off electronics early, journal out your issues, right? Go hug a tree. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I used to think that was nuts, but now it's like, I actually understand why, right? But just, I think really limit the talk around all this stuff.
yeah,
And just focus. Like for me, I want to inspire. My goal is to inspire one person a day. And if I can do that, then I feel like my day is perfect, right? And just, yeah, I think it's just be around positive people, have positive conversation, the best you can, right?
yeah,
Try to, if you get on the top of everything, try to change it and just control what you can control, which is our mind, our what we say to people, be compassionate, and the food we eat. That's really important because eating junk food, fast food, processed food is not going to help the situation. You have to support your body with supplements and real food and bring that stress down.
yeah. Real, real food. Years ago, I used to have property where I had a garden, and I don't necessarily have a green thumb. However, my wife had a green thumb, and she liked the garden, so I would take care of the gardens and the raised beds, and the soil and everything else, and weeding, and she would grow everything, so it worked out really well. But it's here in Arizona, growing a garden outside, it's, I don't know, it's 100 and some odd degrees right now. It's like, however, there are vertical gardens that I'm seeing now, the vertical gardens, indoor gardens, so you could actually take herbs and grow herbs and tomatoes and things like that you could actually, yeah, you can cultivate these things pretty easily. So uh, that's something that we need to think about as a society, I think, is like all the waste that we have and some of the plastics and things like that, we have to start thinking about how we can actually improve that. And I'm not a huge practitioner of that at this point in time. However, I want to improve. I'm going to improve and think about how we can improve. And I know you're into nutrition. So what are some practices that you've found that are simple and easy and make your life a little healthier?
I think preparing food, like, if you're buying, I don't know, like I'm not a great cook. I would rather have somebody else cook for me, but I'll cook. I'm okay. But I'm a big fan of preparing things ahead of time because I don't want to have to do things every day, right?
Yeah.
I'll just make a big salad. Then all I have to do is just throw some lemon and salt and pepper on it and whatever, right? Like just have stuff, if you want to snack, like I love snacking. So, I'll make sure I have, just simple things like, I don't know, celery and like give me the crunch, right? So I think it's just kind of preparing and, and we do need to do something. I never was a big fan of supplements before, And but food, unfortunately, food is not like it used to be way back in the day. So just, keep up your immune system, do things to boost it, and
I love that. Kathy Nesbitt says,
Hey,
Sprouts.
oh yeah, the sprouts. Sorry, Kathy.
Grow your own Sprouts, the original fast food. I have to tell you a side story. There was this a sandwich shop when I was growing up, and it was my favorite sandwich shop because the guy would make homemade bread, and then he would grow his own sprouts, and he used cucumbers and sprouts and just homemade ingredients, and you go in there and it was like watching a masterpiece being built. And he would sit there. It was just a little shop, but he would assemble your whatever you wanted on your sandwich, and he'd put it out there. And I just remember the sprouts being so good, and I haven't had that for a while, so I'll have to. In fact, I used to grow sprouts too, so it's like one of those things that I haven't done for a while. I just triggered that. So thanks for the reminder, Kathy. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I grow hers all the time, so it's awesome.
Angie says, "Great morning, everyone." Now you are also in network marketing. You've done network marketing. She's speaking of supplements. Angie's been working with some supplements that are fantastic, and they've done really well for her. She has stories about people that had stomach aches forever, and taking these supplements, and some of these things are really valuable for people to understand. And I know you're doing Organo Gold, which is coffee, right?
Yep. That's infused with the ratio.
Yeah. And so when I was in Houston, I had a couple of friends that were really big into Organo Gold and promoting that. And, that's another area that a lot of people don't think about because, sometimes, internet marketing gets a bad rap. However, it's the right thing to do for a lot of people. And just like Angie and just like yourself, some of these things can help a lot of people and produce results for everyone. So it's really part of the idea that we can do things and we have opportunities out there. The sky is not falling. The world is not ending. And so we can actually produce results. And I just, the pirate community is all about how can we help each other, encourage each other, and put things out there. So I just really encourage people to make those connections and help and support each other. So, and then Hakan says, I came back into the recording. It seems appropriate. And then Claudio, hug a tree. Good reminder, Karen.
Hey, Claudio.
There's this philosophy that you could take a nature bath, and it's going into the forest and just being in the forest has a lot of energy that it's calming. It's a soothing kind of opportunity. So that's awesome. I love it.
We need to be grounded again, right? And I'm a big fan, and I'm getting better at it. I wouldn't say I'm strong at it, but it's getting better. I'm just being present, right? Like just sit outside, lie on the ground, something, right? And just look at clouds, look at stars, just get connected. That's the best way I know how to explain that, right? Gardening is great. You're playing in the dirt. Dirt's good.
Yeah, walking bare feet in the dirt has an effect on you.
Yeah.
Andy also says, I'm absolutely loving helping people feel so much better with all natural supplements. It's amazing.
Awesome. We'll have to connect for sure.
Yeah. If you're not connected to Karen, get connected. In fact, send a connection request in LinkedIn and say, hey, Russ told me to send you, told us to connect. So, and then that way you know who's connecting with you. So
beautiful. That's awesome.
But it's one of these things.
I'll have to find out who you know in Houston because I know people in Houston. So.
Oh yeah. I'd have to go down my list off the top of my head. I don't, there's a couple of people that I know that were big in Organo Gold. So,
okay, then we probably know the same people.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. And it's one of those things that you have to appreciate the fact that people are doing something. They're going out there. It's like you went to school. You were a smoker. You loved junk food, and all of a sudden one day you decided, why? Well, the why was, okay, I have cancer now, so I better do something about this. So you got into massage therapy, you got into nutrition, you got into changing your lifestyle, you got into mindset and some of these things. And so how do you feel compared to what you were doing then?
I feel so much better. And even during our lockdown and stuff, I was like, okay, if I'm going to beat this, then I'm going to need to look after myself even more. But I feel great because I know how to handle my emotions. I don't love going through certain things at certain times, but it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
And health-wise, I feel great, 99.9 of the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Kathy says, being in nature feeds my soul. I love that.
Me too.
And then Olivia, there's so many supplement options out there. How do you evaluate their effectiveness? And Denise Miller, you have to check the ingredients. It's like anything. If I'm going to eat a candy bar, I know the ingredients may not necessarily be the most healthy thing in my life.
Yeah.
Compared to chewing on a piece of celery, right?
I think moderation. I'm a big fan of moderation.
Moderation, yes. So, Irina, Olivia says, check this out. So, there's so many things we can do and so many things we can prepare for, and I think it's all about how we react and how we respond to our experiences. And it's really, just like this program, we've learned about you, Karen. We've learned a little bit about what, Karen likes journaling. She likes horseback riding. She'll hug a tree if she needs to. She prepares food because she doesn't like to cook. It's like you learn a lot of things about people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to thank you so much, all the gratitude in the world for you being here, Karen, and sharing your story and sharing a couple of things in your adventure and your travels. And I just encourage people to think about what is taking place in your world and how you can react and respond in a positive way. There's things taking place that are completely outside of our control, and we will never have control over some of the things in our lives. However, what we do have control over is the ability and the opportunity to respond in a positive way and put, things out there that are positive, like a free smile, And I just encourage everybody to participate in that and do what you can. So thank you so much, Karen. And I also wanted to share a banner because another place you can reach Karen is freedomofmovement.organogold.com. So that's a location that you can reach out and connect with Karen at. And also on LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn, correct, Karen? Even though you're in progress in changing your profile, that's a good thing. So
yes,
we can do that.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for being here, Karen. Any other last words of wisdom you want to leave with the group?
Just take every day as it comes. Every day is a new day. If you start off, just be aware of your thoughts, and you can change it. And it might take some work, but just if you're in a bad mood, and just change it. Put on some music. So.
Keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. Past is gone.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. As you know, kindness is cool. Smiles are free. And you enjoy the day. Thanks, Karen.
you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, Please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.